Oh my word, something funny just came out this morning. Abuja, good morning and welcome to the sports update coming to you from your Svoboda radio station, Nigeria Police Radio 99.1 FM, the radio station that promises to always be your friend, not just a friend, but a dependable companion. The man that failed to qualify us for Qatar 2022 has come up to say if it were to be under his watch, that the Super Eagles of Nigeria would have qualified to America 2026. The network, yes, remember that the next World Cup is going to be jointly hosted by Canada, United States of America, and Mexico. Amaju Melvin Pinnick has come up to through his job again. We'll look at that, and now CAF has finally put out disciplinary measures out, talking about fighting Senegal and that of and Morocco, the host nation for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Yes, like I said yesterday, that after months of the African Nations Cup 2025 AFCON is going to be coming, and a lot is going to be a talking point for a number of days. My name is Christian Oda. They call me Daddybilly, and this morning I'm not alone in the studio. I have gang members well full, and the ancestor himself, the captain of the gang, is back on air on MIC this morning, and he will be joining us live and direct. You'll get to hear him talk about lots of these things. Yeah, someone actually threw a jab yesterday to Manchester United fans and said 18 Champions League matches were played across stadiums, but Manchester United fans are busy throwing motivational speeches on social media. Geoffrey Shark is in the building. Geoffrey, good morning and welcome to the show. And let's begin from our own Amaju Melvin Pinnick. Yes, Amaju Melvin Pinnick, former NFF boss, FIFA council member, has come up to say that if it were to be under his watch, that the Super Eagles of Nigeria will qualify for the 2026 World Cup. Remember that Super Eagles of Nigeria, after the whole struggle, were actually set packing by DR Congo, who later gave us that huge jab during the penalty kicks. Yes, but Amaju Melvin Pinnick, who under his watch were unable to qualify for Qatar 2022. I think categorically remember part of his statement when he was talking about qualifying Nigeria for Qatar 2022. Do you know the bilateral relationship between Nigeria and Qatar? Mr. President will not be in Qatar. What are you saying? But at the end of the day, we didn't make it to Qatar. But this is the same man who is now saying Nigeria will qualify, if it were to be under his watch, that Nigeria will qualify for, or Nigeria would have qualified for 2026 World Cup. The same man who sank the ship of Warri Wolves years ago. Collins.
Well,
You, Tony, all the way from Benue. Which part of Benue are you calling from? Where? Tony, all the way from Konshisha local government in Benue State. Let's hear you. 80699-761. That's the studio number to call, and definitely we'll give your thought a voice here on your Svoboda radio station, Nigeria Police Radio 99.1 FM Abuja, the radio station that promises to always be your friend, not just a friend, but a dependable companion and a shoulder to actually lean on. Yes, I'm Geoffrey. Before we got that last call, we were looking at the times of Amaju Melvin Pinnick. Yeah, you remember that during Amaju Pinnick, during Amaju Pinnick, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, where should I call them dwindling team? We are not having the run of form that we should have had. Now, do you share the same feeling that if Amaju Pinnick were to be in charge of the of NFF, that we would have been better, the Super Eagles would have been better, or the Super Falcons would have claimed the double the eggs?
Well, Christian, let me borrow a lead from the radio senator. I think that is a typical Amaju Pinnick for you.
Along the corridors of home sports, Nasarawa United yesterday actually missed a chance to draw level points with Nigerian Premier League leaders. I'm talking about Rivers United after being held to a 1-1 draw by former champions Enyimba at the Lap Championship Stadium. The result actually ensured the title race at the top remains tightly contended. Abia Warriors also yesterday dropped points at home, settling for a 1-1 draw against Wiki Tourist in Umuahia. While Plateau United recorded recorded an important 2-1 victory over Enugu Rangers. It has not been a very good run for Enugu Rangers in the last few weeks. In the North-West derby, it was Caterpillars who edged Katsina United 1-0 to complete match day 23 slate for fixtures for the Nigerian Premier Football League. Yes, it was actually a wonderful night yesterday across some of the stadiums yesterday. Most of the games actually ended a 1-1 draw. Only for the 2-1 victory for Plateau United over Enugu Rangers. Nigerian Premier Football League living up more than it used to be under, again, the watch of Amaju Melvin Pinnick.
Well, I was going
to be seeing on who makes the list. We actually press for time. The Confederation of African Football CAF has finally fined those to be fined and praise. Oh my word! Yeah, the Confederation of African Football CAF has imposed suspension and significant financial penalties on Senegal and Morocco following disciplinary breaches during the African Cup of Nations final in Morocco. In a statement released by CAF disciplinary board, the governing body said that sanctions were handed down over multiple incidents and they were found also violating CAF rules. Senegal received the most severe sanction, with the head coach Pepe actually being suspended for 5 official CAF matches. The 5 matches were all CAF matches, so he can engage in other matches, but once long as his CAF competitive game, he's going to sit over to watch. We finding him a total of $100,000 for unsporting conduct. While 2 Senegalese players were also fined $100,000 as well. Senegalese Football Federation was also fined a total of $615,000 according to CAF. Penalties imposed for combinations of offences. Yes, that in details, lots of offences were raised, from yellow cards, from walking away from pitch, from evading and all of that, to fines. So a total of about $715,000 were fined to Senegal was fined a total of $715,000. While for Morocco, they were also sanctioned over incidents involving players, officials, and supporters. Defender Kim Ziyech fine is what I really do not understand. Now, he was given a 2-match ban. He will serve 1-match ban, and 1 match will be hanging in case such act repeat itself. So I am sure no one in his right senses will repeat such when you know that a penalty is already waiting for you. Why not say serve 2-match ban or serve 1-match ban? And they were actually sanctioned. They had some other financial sanctions. I think about a total of about $400,000 is total sanction. Now CAF coming out with the disciplinary actions over Senegal and Morocco in the final for the act of the finals that came in the 2025 African Cup of Nations, guys. Christian, rest for time, I will not be able to go further. Yes, lots of matches went down. I'll quickly just see if we'll be able to give you a run of those matches that went down yesterday. But yes, we actually really pressed for time. Okay, let's quickly look at AS Roma. Juventus actually played a barren draw yesterday, while Ajax fell to Olympiacos. It was Arsenal triumph over their visitors, talking about El Matri. 3-2 it ended, while Atletico Club fell to Sporting CP 3-2 it ended. However, there in Atletico Madrid, it was Bodo Glimt whose triumph over Atletico Madrid 2-1 it ended, while Barcelona whitewashed FC Copenhagen 4-1. It was Bayer Leverkusen who ran riot over Villarreal 3-0 it ended, while Real Madrid fell to Jose Mourinho's Benfica 4-2 it ended in that match, with the history-making goalkeeper getting that last minute goal for Benfica, while Borussia Dortmund also fell 2-0 at home before their home fan to Inter Milan. It was Club Brugge who also saw and conquered before their home fans against Marseille 3-0 it ended, while Tottenham ran over Frankfurt 2-0. It was Liverpool who has the highest goal for the night, 6-0 against Qarabag, while Manchester City actually triumphed over Victor Osimhen Galatasaray 2 goals to nothing. Chelsea, we are better than Napoli over there in Italy. 3 goals to 2. It ended in favor of Chelsea. Why PSV also fell to their visitors Bayern Munich 2 goals to 1. It was Peffer who actually triumphed over Sevilla Praga 4 goals to 1. While Paris Saint-Germain settled a 1-1 draw with Newcastle United. Union St. Gallows actually were better than Atlanta 1 goal to nothing. It ended. Thank you so much, Abuja, for giving us your eardrum. Thank you guys for coming into the studios. My name is Christian, or they call me Daddybilly, and this is the size of the show this morning. We leave you with all the Senegalese fans who will be celebrating even though they were sanctioned with a willow. Enjoy yourself.
Que ces millénaires soient le renouveau pour la fierté et la paix retrouvée en Afrique et partout dans le monde.
Wow.